Toast Talk, where we talk to Toastmasters not only about Toastmasters but also about other things in their lives. And joining us today is Kevin James. Now, Kevin is a member of a couple of clubs in District 69 in Australia. He is a former area director. In fact, he's a former Toastmaster from some years ago. Kevin, welcome along.
Thank you, Graham, for having me here today.
Kevin, you, as I say, were a Toastmaster some years ago, but then, what, life got in the way? Is that a pretty fair assessment?
Yes, Graham, 28 years ago, I left Toastmasters after being in it for a few years in a club called Centre Club in the middle of town in Brisbane. Real life got in the way, to be precise, shift work.
That often happens, but you've returned to Toastmasters and actually got quite heavily involved in the last couple of years, haven't you?
Indeed, I rejoined Toastmasters in July 2015 to a club called Crest, C-R-E-S-T, at Sunnybank Hills. And since then I've been involved initially with one club, then with two clubs, and also took on the area directorship role in an area called 26, looking after 5 clubs. And now we've entered the new financial or Toastmaster year. I'm back down to 2 clubs.
And just another Toastmaster, huh?
Just another Toastmaster as a president, perhaps.
And president. I was going to say, I was once told that if you want something done, ask a busy person to do it. And obviously you are a busy person, because I'd like to talk to you about the other thing that you're involved in that is taking up a fair amount of your time. And that's an organisation called Circle of Men. Tell us about Circle of Men.
Circle of Men was created in 2005 by 2 fellows who had a vision to help older men in aged care facilities who were basically isolated. In a nutshell, we have a presence at 13 aged care facilities around Brisbane, particularly in the Redlands area, where we have volunteers go into an environment that the nursing home has set up, and we keep them company, we become their mates, and essentially we try and keep them actively engaged mentally and part of society, because when you're in a nursing home, a lot of the men unfortunately become a patient, and you get that patient-nurse relationship, and they lose that interaction with men they've had for 90 odd years, sitting around the pub or at home or with their friends. And to be frank, nursing homes, while a great facility, they are run by women for women, and many of the activities the men won't engage in. And unfortunately, men are not good at discussing their feelings. So this also happens, good and bad, at our sessions of an hour and a half, 90 minutes per week.
Now, for a lot of men, there have been organisations that they've been involved with through their whole lives. I mean, whether you're talking church or lodge or being involved in service clubs, or there are a variety of organisations that men have been involved with and have dealt with other men. But when men reach retirement age, and particularly when they reach frail-aged retirement, they're left isolated. So you noticed that there was a need and thought that you could do something about this?
Well, the men who started this up in 2005, one, his name is Washintara, and the other one was a gentleman who's since passed of an advanced age, Mike. And these gentlemen saw the need, and what we did was get into a circle within the nursing home facility, rather like a Toastmaster warm-up, I have to tell you. We allow the gentlemen to talk one at a time, and they check in every week and tell us, how has their week been, good or bad? Because they don't have an opportunity to discuss this with the nurses. Unfortunately, nurses are wonderful people. I've been one. I've been a registered nurse. We work hard. And in this facility that they now are at an advanced age, they just have no male companionship, and the nurses cannot be their friends. They cannot get too close because they have so many people to look after and do such good work. So what we try and do is keep track of what they're doing every week and ask them questions to keep them engaged. And we might have a topic of interest that we can all talk upon, because these men are from all different walks of life. They're 100 meters away from each other, but due to disability, they just can't get out and talk to other fellows. They only see the nursing staff and occasionally relatives, and some of them, their relatives have passed on, so they have nobody to talk on a week-to-week basis.
You mentioned that the Circle of Men is involved in, 13, I think you said, nursing care facilities in southeast Queensland. Is there a plan to expand that?
At this stage, the short answer is no. Our main focus currently with the volunteers we have, and I should point out that our volunteers are in an age bracket of around 65 to 85, and many of them transition into a nursing home at some stage during their career with us. Our main focus at the moment is consolidating the 13 nursing homes that we have a presence at to try and achieve at least 2, 3 or 4 volunteers at each home. We have about 50 people at the moment. Some of our facilities have 3 or 4 volunteers and are functioning very effectively, but a couple of our facilities are in urgent need due to illness or other absences where we might only have 1 facilitator. So we're trying to build up our image, build up our brand, network socially, and in more forms of modern technology, because many of our people, myself excluded, are flat out doing an email. So technology is the big thing which I think can help get our message out there. We have a particular business model. We're a registered charity, and we have certain templates and ways of doing things, and particularly one needs a memorandum of understanding to be signed at the nursing homes where this is being done, so I can advise people in terms of setting this up in their own environment. Of course, we'd like you to use the Circle of Men brand, and there are other volunteers who go out and visit nursing homes, so there's plenty of scope for me to advise other people in this day and age of social media, Facebook, radio. It's not just newspapers where people can advertise their product.
All right. Kevin, we've run out of time. Thank you very much for joining us today. It sounds like a fascinating process that you're going through. It really does sound like a need that is being met, and I thank you for doing it, and I thank you also for your service in Toastmasters, because I've seen some of the work that you do there as well.
Thank you, Graham. And I would say one final thing: no matter how much we would like to think otherwise, we'll all be in an aged care facility one day. Thank you.
Kevin James, thanks for your time.
Thank you.